Hi, happy Saturday, everyone. I just wanted to give a quick update. I'm sure some of you saw that I posted the garden layout in the stories, but I wanted to uh, actually show you guys what that's going to look like in our growing space. And also, I know I post a lot of spreadsheets, but that's just the way my brain works. I cannot draw. I don't have that type of skill set, but what I do know how to do is build a spreadsheet. So really, hope that that's kind of encouragement for, utilize whatever skill set you have to build based upon what your talent is. And so I just happen to know how to build like an Excel spreadsheet, and it works very well. And I think that, anyone who's coming into our garden, anyone who's going to be helping me, like my grandpa and Tyler, they can read that. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys exactly what we have planned and what that looks like in our space. I want to quickly show you guys this garden layout overview. Basically, I constructed each of these garden beds in Microsoft Word, and I created a number code that is going to correspond to the plants, which I have outlined in a separate spreadsheet, and I'm going to show you that very shortly. Now I want to bring your attention to this spreadsheet that lists all of the plants that correspond to the number code that I previously showed. And each of these beds are color coded here. But I want to bring your attention to bed 5, which has the radishes, the peas, and the okra. These plants are pretty much companions to one another. I also know that they grow really well in that location. Bed 6 is going to be our pollinators, and bed 7, which is to the far right, will be dedicated to our melons. And we got some friends to grow with those melons. And we also wanted to take into consideration the depth of the beds, what grows best in each of these beds. One thing that we also wanted to consider was crop rotation to ensure that our soil would remain in optimal condition after the season ends. As you can see here, I have started to plot each of these beds. I still have some more plotting to do, but that's not going to take any time because I've already done the markings. And really what this is basically the square feet, and I'm going to put seeds, bring in transplants according to what I drew out. I like to make sure that I understand what I'm planning and what, where everything is going to go. So, kind of drawing it out first helps me to kind of organize my thoughts. And then, Tyler and I, we talk through these things to make sure that, we're both aligned with what we're going to grow during the season. So this here, we're actually going to be moving this trellis, and because we're doing some crop rotations, we're going to be moving this trellis into a different bed. I think we're going to do sugar snaps in this bed this year, so we're actually going to be moving, moving this over from here over to here, and allowing our peas to trellis over that way. Octagarden. So I was able to really map out exactly how many herbs we're going to put into Octagarden and exactly where they're going to go. I know how everything grows, so I kept that in mind as I was kind of mapping out everything, and I'm going to see how it goes. But what you see here, it's going to look way more full than this. So I'm excited to get everything transplanted and to start some seeds here as well. And you guys will will get to see the updates as well. We also have some of these that we have transplanted out here. This bed is pretty much done. We've got 3 tomatoes. We've got some companion plants that are going to be growing alongside it, which is great. We also have these beds over here that we're going to be utilizing this year. I'll go into more detail about that maybe later, but we've already amended the soil. These are prepped and ready to go. We also have this bed here that we have already installed the drip irrigation, and really the drip irrigation is in all of the beds, but This is going to be for our melons. We also have a few companion plants that we're going to be bringing in alongside the melons. We know that melons go crazy, so we're thinking about what we can do to make sure that everything is contained and not looking outrageous the way it was in 2019. We also have our cucumber trellis. I'm not sure if some of you remember, but I think in 2020 we grew our cucumbers along here. We're going to keep our cucumbers here. We believe that that will be just fine. This bed has been unoccupied for many months now, and we have amended the soil. We have tended to it over the past couple of months, so we should be okay. But we are going to be bringing in some good companion plants to grow alongside that. If you refer back to the layout, you'll see exactly what we're planting here. And I know that stories are kind of fast, so I will actually post a picture of it so that you can kind of get an idea of what type of companion plants grow with what. This is typically our pollinator bed here, and it is going to be the pollinator bed. We've got some carrots that we planted way early on, and they just started growing this season, but we're going to be hopefully pulling these up soon, bringing in some kale and a few of our pollinator friendly flowers to grow right here. And the reason why we chose the center of the garden for our pollinators is it's a welcoming space to kind of bring our pollinators into the center so that they can go and disperse to other beds as well. Also, one last thing, the greenhouse. What are we going to do with the stuff in here? We're actually going to pull all of this up pretty much, and we're going to bring in a whole new set of plants that will be growing throughout the year. I'm thinking some tomatoes, I'm thinking some eggplant. I did not have space out here to grow that, so I think we might have some space in here that we can kind of incorporate that as well. We will be using this space to keep a steady flow of seedlings growing, and we can rotate out as the season progresses along. So that pretty much covers it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop into our direct messages or comment under this video. We were hoping to throw down seeds this weekend, but I'm not sure if you're from North Carolina, but we're supposed to be getting a drop in temperature. I did not feel comfortable bringing out all of our transplants this weekend, knowing that we're going to hit some low 30s during the week. So that's one of those things where if you want to try to get an early start, you have to be really, really mindful of the weather. Make sure you kind of keep an eye on the forecast and plan accordingly. I know that our last frost, I think, was around the 15th, but you can't control Mother Nature. So just work with her and be patient and do your best in planning for the season. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to talk with you.